Welcome back to 12 Sports Locker Room. That 10-game winning streak at Mountain America Stadium came to an end tonight. The Sun Devils hosting 6-1 Houston, and the Cougars came in with a hunger. They were playing without Jordan Tyson, their top receiver, out with a hamstring injury suffered in that win over Texas Tech last week. Connor Wigman had a great first half for Houston, finding Tanner Koziel here. That led to the first points of the game. Wigman also scored the first touchdown of the game, a 1-yard QB sneak. Cougars led 10-0 at the break. Yeah, a lot of juking and jiving.
Koziel right there.
Yeah, not enough offense from Arizona State tonight. Take a look at the final score, 24-16 the final. The Sun Devils dropped to 5-3 on the season. Let's get instant reaction from Mountain America Stadium with Jake Garcia.
Well, for 3 quarters, ASU played its worst game since Kenny Dillingham's first season as head coach. They were uninterested and uninspired. The Sun Devils do storm back late in the fourth quarter, but it was too little, too late. They're undoing an anemic offense that didn't score any points for the first time since 2023. 2 penalties that wiped out touchdowns from the board, and a horrific special teams performance that saw ASU miss 2 field goals, kick a ball out of bounds, and then end the game on a roughing the kicker penalty where Houston missed a field goal. Kenny Dillingham talks in just a bit. He'll have to answer an onslaught of questions about this performance tonight. We'll have live post-game coverage later on at 10 o'clock as the Sun Devils Conference Championship hopes are now on life support. In Tempe, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports.
Thanks, Jake. As we mentioned, this was ostensibly a Big 12 championship elimination game. 4 games left in the regular season for the Devils at Iowa State next Saturday. Then they get the bye week. Maybe Jordan Tyson can heal up a little bit. Then they host West Virginia. Gotta have that game. Then they travel to face Colorado. The Sun Devils wrap up the season hosting Arizona for the Territorial Cup the Friday after Thanksgiving. All right, Doug, we were watching the game. No Jordan Tyson tonight. How did you think the offense looked? Because they really looked unrecognizable with either Sam Leavitt or Jeff Sims under center.
The only compliment I would give them is I would say they look better than the special teams unit. And that's about the extent of it. I don't know if Sam Leavitt was hurt before the game started and played hurt. God bless him if he did, or if he got hurt during the game. But Sam Leavitt did not look like Sam Leavitt. This was the game where you needed Sam Leavitt when you don't have a Jordan Tyson. And he was able to find Mateer for a couple touchdowns. It looks like Malik McLean had 7 receptions for over 130 yards. So he found people, but they didn't put together consistent drives in this game, and because of that, they really struggled. And then Sam Leavitt's fumble, I'd love to have an answer on what happened on the fumble. There's when he got hurt. He left the game, went back into the locker room, did come back in, but did not finish.
Right, and you know, he's been battling injuries since Kenny Dillingham said the Baylor game, dealing with a lower body injury. It looked like it was maybe an upper body injury there in the first quarter of this game. It's a kind of a wild development for a preseason Heisman candidate. The offense really looked unrecognizable. The second half, they had more rhythm, but when Jordan Tyson is out, who needs to step up? Because they haven't really had a really strong rushing core outside of Raleek Brown as well.
I would like to say all of them. I was shocked at how many passes were either poorly thrown by Sam Leavitt or dropped. I mean, there was a lot of drops in this game. Not a good enough performance by the receiving core. This is when you step up. This is when the world gets to see you play. When the #1 receiver in the 2026 draft is out, you've got to do it. And nobody stepped up and was able to declare themselves as a go-to guy. And then you compound that with the defense giving up quarterback run after run after run. This was a really poorly played game by ASU. It's not bad to lose to Houston. They're a better team than most people think. They're a better team than I thought. But the way ASU played, that's a big problem.
ASU has faced a team with 1 loss or no loss every week. That 10-game winning streak at home is put to bed. They were looking to sweep the Texas teams, but another guy that came in the transfer portal, Kanye Udoh, was supposed to kind of back up or bolster the rushing game with Cam Skattebo being drafted. He got 1 carry and 1 touch today. What do you make of his lack of usage in these last 2 weeks?
That'll be my first question to Kenny Dillingham coming up tomorrow. Since we're here, of course, I'm not around Kenny to ask him now. But But tomorrow at noon, he's going to have a press conference, and that'll be my question. What did happen with Kanye Udoh? And I don't even mean today. I mean this year. You know, Raleek Brown has been incredible, but Udoh was supposed to be able to do an awful lot for this team, and I don't know if it's a situation because Raleek Brown is so good, or if it's just Udoh is not able to rise up to that level. I don't know what the answer is to that question, but it's a question on my mind too, because nobody in the running game did well in this game against against Houston at all.
Toughest game probably for Kenny Dillingham, as Jake mentioned, and we actually have Kenny Dillingham live with his post-game press conference at Mountain America Stadium. Take a listen.
Just one of those unfortunate. We can't have it, and that's on myself to not let those things happen, because you know, there's easily 10 points in that game just off that play alone, and some other things in that game where you know, this game was way closer than it was most of the night. I think the score, we just didn't play good enough, is unfortunate.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Kenny, can you talk about what happened with Sam the first time he left the game, and then when he wasn't in the game for the last 2 drives, when we know he's the guy that always delivers with the game on the line, so the decision to go with Jeff instead of Sam late?
Yeah, well, Sam got retweaked there at the end. So he got tweaked at the beginning. We sent him in there, got some imaging. He wanted to go right back in, and I said, no, you're going to get imaging before you go back in. I don't care how you feel. And then he came back, and then at the end he tweaked himself again, so we held him out. And Jeff did a really nice job moving the ball down the field, moved all the way down the field, scored a touchdown, 2-minute drill. And then there at the end, you know, bang, bang play, great play by them to knock the ball out.
So it was ankle?
I'm not going to comment on what it was.
Go ahead, Jake. Kenny, Jake Garcia, 12 News. What's your frustration level at right now with how the special teams group is playing?
Yeah, we got to play better. I mean, all across the board, we got to play better. We got to play better as a football team, though. We didn't play good enough as a football team tonight. That was one of the phases that didn't play good enough. But all the phases have to play better. You know, they ran the ball, you know, too efficiently with their quarterback, 21 carries, most of those direct runs for 124 yards. Running backs, you know, 24 carries for 70-something, so that's pretty good defense, 3 yards carry, but the quarterback, direct +1, you got to give it to that kid. You got to give it to Connor, man. That dude was a warrior for them tonight to take the snap and run quarterback direct run 20 times, 18 times. You got to give him a lot of credit because he did a nice job. They did a good job up front, and that's a good football team. This league is filled with good football teams. That's a good football team. And when you don't play good enough and you face a good football team and there's no takeaway, they get a takeaway and you don't get a takeaway, you know, there's a lot of, you're not going to win many of those games versus good teams.
And a quick follow-up just on special teams. Is it coaching? Is it execution? Is it guys being disciplined in their assignments? What can you put your...
I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's, you know, there's different mistakes happening on different things, right? You know, that last one was on me because I told him, listen, the only thing we can do here is block it, even if they miss the kick, right? We're going to have a Hail Mary from the -5. So it was sellout block mode. I told him I would take a penalty, right? So that wasn't, the last one was 100% on me, just situationally, just, you know, the block return is really your best chance to win that game. So kind of sold out, but all the other stuff is just a combination of things.
That's ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham after a 24-16 loss to Houston. We talked about the special teams. Jake Garcia asked him about that. They went international to fix that problem that they had several seasons ago. The punting was a problem last week against Texas Tech. Where is your level of concern with that unit?
How high can I go? How
10.
long do we have here to talk? Yeah, it's at an 11 then. I mean, think about it this way. Kenny Dillingham last week said it was going to be a major focal point, and he made the whole team watch every special teams play to show them how bad it is and how much it needs to improve. And sadly, it wasn't any better. There was one okay punt, a couple bad pumps, some bad snaps on field goal attempts, and then he just said, I'm taking the penalty on the roughing the kicker. But special teams was horrible. And then the follow-up when he was talking to Jake, the one thing there that's really nasty is the quarterback run game. When he was saying +1, what that means is the quarterback, since he's running, the running back turns into a blocker. So now you have one more hat, really a helmet, but one more player than the defense is able to block or tackle. And because of that, they got destroyed. And this was the stat that Lena gave us a little bit ago. 111 yards rushing for Weigman, the quarterback, and 98 for ASU. An entire team got outrushed by the opposing quarterback.
They'll have to bounce back in a major way in Ames, a Big 12 championship rematch on the road against the Cyclones.